Hey guys, welcome back to the stream. This is Luke from Guild Umbra. We did some interesting things in our guild, and we're kind of talking about setting up raid parties and whatnot for launch. And I have decided to go with the DPS Esper. So this is my Esper, DPS Esper, Cassian Esper. Anyway, in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about DPS with the Esper. Yeah, that's mainly what we're going to talk about. And more specifically, a priority. I don't like to use the word rotation. My personal opinion with rotation is that you're always set in this rotation. Meaning that there's not going to be any boss mechanics that hit me. Well, not in WildStar. There's always going to be telegraphs you're going to have to move out of, stuns that you're going to have to throw down. So, keep that in mind. Even though I'm talking about a DPS rotation and kind of maximizing our DPS, it's important that you understand that this is just, me hitting a dummy and showing you the priority and what we need to keep up and global cooldowns and where they play into your priority. Okay, so real quick, let's talk about what's on global cooldown and what's not. Currently, this is my loadout. Okay, telekinetic strike is on the global cooldown. Okay, that goes for haunt. That goes for, I think, crush and restraint. However, I have other abilities that aren't on global cooldown. Okay, so meaning when whenever abilities are on global cooldown, and let's say I cancel them, and I want to cast another ability, I have to wait a certain set amount of time before I can cast that next ability. If that makes sense. So I lose time and therefore I lose DPS. That's where I'm getting at with my point about global cooldowns. And losing DPS is not what we want. Okay, we want to maximize that sucker as best we can. So anyway, this is currently, my in closed beta. I only got up to like level 37, 38, I think, with my Esper. And the reason for this was, I was trying to test out all the different characters and see what they do and how they work and how I like them, or dislike them. And I'm more talking about playstyles than because classes will change. They'll get nerfed, they'll get buffed. But I'm talking about picking up a class that I enjoy, and Esper was one of them. I think Medic was another one. There were several that were really. It was really difficult for me to say, okay, well, I'm going to go with this class, and say that I'm going to stay, that I'm going to do that the whole time. So it's set in stone. Because I love WildStar. I love playing this game. Anyway, getting off track. So priority. We want to keep Haunt up. Why? Why do we want to keep up Haunt? Why is that the #1 priority? Because I have a little, add-on here, Galaxy Meter, and it's going to show you what I've used in my previous, test on this dummy. And as you can see, these are the abilities that do the most damage. Okay, the DPS is over here in parentheses. This is the total damage it's done on the left side. And as you can see, Haunted, it really doesn't do that much damage. So, but it's third out of the 4 abilities that I have. So, let's talk about what it does. It debuffs enemies in the telegraph. The telegraph looks like that. Pretty cool. So the debuff is magic resistance. So as you're leveling up, it's pretty damn important for you to put a lot of points in this. Okay? We're not looking at tier 4s. We're looking at the total magic resistance reduction debuff that it puts on the enemies. And the reason for this is in our priority, Haunt being number 1, and we always want to keep it up no matter what on the enemies. But these two are more damage abilities, as you can tell from my little log right here. So by debuffing them, I'm giving these guys more damage. Even this guy, concentrated blade I have on my bar. Okay, but that's the other two places where I want to spend all my points. Okay, and the points I'm talking about are ability tiers, and you get them as you level. You get 1 per level, I think, from level 6 to 50. So obviously I'm not maxed out, and I can't really talk about in-game too much. I just wanted to talk about a basic DPS leveling build that I have here at the moment. I don't even have all the slots open, okay? So I won't even try to go there too much. So anyway, I'm going to try my best to demonstrate the priority that I just talked about, which is, and I'll reiterate, Haunt, 5-point Bird Strike, or Mind Burst, Telekinetic Strike as a filler to get us up to 5 side points as quickly as possible. When I use my Mind Burst, then I pop Concentrated Blade, and I have Bolster. Yeah, it heals me, but it also gives me 2 ability charges, which gives me 2 side points to use. So this is just what I do, and you'll see it when I demonstrate it, is I do Haunt, and then I do, or excuse me, sorry, I pop 2 Concentrated Blades on the enemy, then I do Haunt, because it takes time for the Concentrated Blades to hit them, so while they're charging, I cast Haunt. I do 2 Telekinetic Strikes, then I do Mind Burst. Directly after Mind Burst, I pop my 2 charges on my Bolster and my Innate at the same time to get that side point every second for 5 seconds. 1 side point. So I generate basically 5 side points by using my Innate. So I'm at 2 charges at my side point because I use my Bolster after my Mind Burst. And the reason for this is because I stated earlier the global cooldown. Okay, there's no global cooldown on this spell. So I can move, I can cast Bolster. If I had any more Concentrated Blades pop up, go ahead and pop them. And then go directly into Telekinetic Strike, unless I am at 5 side points to get off another Mind Burst. So you can tell by the way I'm describing it, and probably confusing the hell out of people. So I'm just done talking about it, and I'm just gonna do it. We're gonna clear this guy off, and you guys just focus up here or down here, wherever the hell you want to focus. And I'm just gonna try to demonstrate my priority as best I can. I'm still not great at it. I'm still learning. So anyway, I screwed up quite a bit there. There were times where I could have used my abilities a little better. But you get the basic idea of this video. And again, you can see telekinetic strike, mine versus my top damaging ability. DPS, I do, okay, for each one of these. Their concentrated blades probably critted, more than likely. Yeah, it did. So, anyway, you get the idea. You can really get in here and sort of play around with this damage meter and test your builds out. You know, now I think I've covered most of the priority, and I haven't really talked about ability tiers too much, other than where you should put points. And I did that on purpose because, you know, like I said, I'm not max level. At max level, obviously, you know, you want to max these two to the highest that you can. In raids, if there are other espers running it, you end up dropping Haunt in place of illusionary blades. And this is a pretty cool ability. I'll show it to you just real quick. Let me take something off. Let me just take Haunt off. And this is the telegraph. It's just like a telekinetic strike, same type of telegraph. But this is what it does. And just watch, and you'll see. Okay. And that's what it does. I mean, it's what I saw a lot of raiders doing who didn't have to run Haunt due to the fact that other people are running Haunt, other espers. You basically have two builds. You have like a full damage build, which is kind of what I have here. Obviously, it's not filled out, and we have a warrior going crazy. Oh, that's Habu. Hey, Habu! Everybody say hey. Anyway, he's freaking out, and he's freaking me out because I'm clicking everything. But you run with a full damage build, and then you run with a debuff build. As a debuff build, you're going to want to have Haunt maxed out to maximize the most magic resistance that you're taking off the enemies. And you're going to want to max out Telekinetic Storm. And the reason for this is because it applies a weaken. And the weaken applies deflect chance is reduced. So you can imagine where this would be very useful to people in your raid who haven't been strike through capped. Because if you're reducing the deflect chance by 2% and it stacks up to 4, well, that's 8%. Deflect that it's taken off the mobs or the boss that you have put it on. Okay. So anyway, that basically covers the tier 8s, and I kind of talked a little bit too much about raiding builds as it is. So I'm just going to get back to my leveling spec and talk a little more about that. And that is my abilities I've already kind of talked about. Let me take this back off. Uh-oh, I guess I'm still in combat, and that's why it's let me do it. Oh yeah! Okay, I'm going this time. Seriously.